Well, because summer is approaching and I've been asked to do it before, we're going to make some covers, some little bags, some pouch bags for your fans. It's true that if you have a nice fan and you put it in your handbag just like that, it's going to twist and it can even break. So to take care of it, let's put it in a little bag, in a little case. And I'm going to make two of them. One very simple without any closures and the other one with a snap. But if you don't have one of these, you can use one of these pressure buttons. They're easy to sew and you only have to sew one, so that's no problem at all. And you can also use some Velcro. The one that has glue on the back is really useful. I've used it even for toys, for my son's toys. I made some bags in vinyl and they last forever. They haven't even, I mean, they're still there. So these are good as well. And of course, this project is ideal to use up all the little scraps you have around. If you have little scraps, you can make a patchwork mat and use it like that. I'm going to use some pieces I have left from the little shrug I made a few weeks ago, and this one from my son's sweets bag for his birthday. I still have another meter, but I have this one on its own. And I also made a lunch bag. So this is always useful. We always use up everything we have in the sewing room. So if you like this kind of projects, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot and you won't miss anything. For the first one, I'm going to make it rounded with a flap that goes on top and closes with a button. So I'm going to do the back and then the front a bit shorter, and all of that I'm going to hem with bias tape. And of course, all of this we cut, don't just throw it away. Keep it because it can be useful if you're going to make, for example, a pin cushion or any cushion or even a doorstop. You can use it for that. So I made myself this little bag to keep it in there. So I have my 3 layers. I have 2 for the back. Why? Because when I fold and when I open, you're going to see the inside. But for the front, I only have 1 piece because you won't see anything. So I'm going to start by hemming the top of the front with some bias tape. To sew bias tape, you can I usually sew it just like this, folding and stitching on top, but if you want to sew it properly and with more detail, you can open it, sew it on the inside through this canal, and then when you close it, even sew it with an invisible stitch by hand if you need something a bit more detailed. But for something like this, we have the thread in the same color of the bias tape, so we won't be needing to do that. I really love how black bias tape looks. I think it looks really elegant. I think I love all bias tape, but I always have a lot of the black one because every time I have the opportunity, I use it and it looks really nice. So now I'm going to put the 3 of them together and put some pins in so it stays in place and it doesn't move while sewing. And I'm going to sew everything with the bias tape, leaving a little bit open so I can join it together. And to finish the bias tape, I left it a little bit open so I can face it right sides together, but not just right sides together in horizontal, but perpendicular. So when you sew them and cut the excess on a diagonal line. Then when you open, it's straight, and the diagonal line means that you're not getting the seam all straight, one layer after the other. And then for the snap, you just have to realize and be careful about what you use, because they are different. The ones on the outside are the same, but the ones on the inside are the ones you have to change. So let's just do that, and then you just need to press firmly and it'll be done. I'm really happy with my little snap machine. It works really well, but they've told me, Amaira and Exposito, after watching me punch the fabric with my embroidery scissors, that I need something to punch it with, some oil or something. So I need to get that, because with this the risk you have is that you might rip the whole fabric or get some threads, so the pattern won't look the same and as nice. So it's much better to use the proper tools. I need to get one. Let's try. Yeah, so it's an ideal project. You can make it in 10 minutes, so try one. And the second one is going to be really simple, because I only need to cut 2 rectangles of fabric the size of my fan. Then I'm going to sew them right sides together, making sure I lift the needle in while pushing the presser foot up, and that way I can turn the fabric and keep on sewing on the corners. Then I'm going to zigzag stitch everything, just in case it goes wrong. And hem the top with a double hem. This is going to be a bit tricky, because the space, the room you have to maneuver is quite small. So lift the needle in as well, and lift the presser foot when you have to, so you can handle it better. And that's it. It's a really simple cover. I didn't realize it was going to be difficult to sew on the top, but I think it looks good. Your fan is right there. It's easy to take off and put in, so it's quite good. And these are my 2 little projects for today. I think they look really good and they are useful as well. Let me know down in the comments if you are team case or team flap. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new and you like this kind of projects, because that way you don't miss anything. And I'll leave you here all the projects I've done with little scraps for you to make. And I'll see you next week. Bye! Hola, hola, hola. Esto está muy bajo, ¿no? No me ve.